My name is Sam Geyer, and this is my persuasive speech on why you should adopt a dog. And living in the suburbs, pretty much everyone has a pet, whether it's a dog or a cat or a bird or a reptile. Everyone has a pet to call their own. They name it, they have it in their house, and it's just like another part of the family. But what a lot of people don't realize is that there's so many dogs and animals that need to be adopted, and that you don't have to go to a breeder to get a really great dog. In fact, I have two dogs that we adopted from Second Chance Pets, which is a organization kind of like the SPCA, which takes in abandoned dogs and cats and those that have been neglected or strays and tries to get homes for them. Over 7 million pets in the United States are transferred through different towns and organizations every year, and only about 3 million of them get adopted, which means that the rest of them are normally euthanized because there's not enough room for them after a couple of years to keep going through the system. There's three really big points on why you should adopt a pet instead of going to a breeder for it. First of all, it's the price of getting a dog from a breeder. The breeder is normally having you pay like $300, $400 for a dog, when you go to a pound and you only have to pay about like $100. And the breeder, you are solely paying for the type of dog that it is. The parents and the grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents, back and back and back, saying that yes, this is 100% dachshund, or this is 100% golden retriever. Where you can get a dachshund or golden retriever at a pound, and it's perfectly fine. It's the same type of dog. So unless you're going to a dog show, you don't need a necessarily 100% type of dog. And the one that you have at a pound would be perfect for a lot less money. And plus, at the pound, when you get a dog, they normally pay for the spaying and neutering because they don't want more dogs to be on the streets or be neglected because there's not enough money to take care of them. So they chip in for the spaying and neutering, and they also give them a lot of boosters or vaccinations. So you get a dog who has been spayed or neutered and has the vaccinations, and you don't pay for any of that, or if you do, you pay for a very minimal percentage of it, and you get a dog for a lot less price. And in the economy that we have today, no one can afford to pay $400 plus the thousands of dollars later for a dog. Which also goes into my second point, which is that dogs that are bred are more likely to have genetic problems like hip dysplasia or ear problems because of their being bred in the family, which that can lead to a lot of money also, trying to get the painkillers for the hip dysplasia and then eventually maybe even surgery for it, or ear problems come and go, and you have to keep getting more medicine for their ears. And when you get something at the pound, you're less likely to have the inbred problem because they're normally a couple different breeds mixed into one, or they have different parents that weren't brother and sister. So you're going to have a lot less cost, a lot less hassle with a dog that's from the pound or from an agency. The third thing is that these pets are just waiting to be adopted. They've been abused in their past life. They've been starving on the streets or something like that. That's how they got into the situation of being into a pound. One of my dogs, actually, he was in a backyard with a bunch of other dogs, big dogs, when he was a tiny little puppy, and the owner would just throw out cups of food. So they had to fight for it. He used to take a mouthful of his food into another room where no one else was, and he would take a couple bites of it, but if anyone came in the room, he'd pick it back up again and take it somewhere else, because he was used to having to hoard his food and take it away. And now he's over that. But it just shows that the conditions that these animals have gone through and the lives that they've had to lead, and you can give them a much better life in your home. So with the price difference and the hassle difference and the giving them a second chance, you should really consider adopting a pet instead of going to a breeder.